your foundation. Leave your mark on this creation. Legacy, build your kingdom. Yeah, build your kingdom. Legacy, build your kingdom with Rudy Knapp.
Welcome back. And like always on this podcast, I always start off with the same way. If you are looking for the easy answers or permission to stay exactly where you are, you went to the wrong podcast. But if you are ready to do some heavy lifting required to change your family tree, you are exactly where you need to be. I am your host, Rudy Knapp, and welcome to Legacy Build Your Kingdom. This isn't just a podcast. It's a command center for the architects of life who are ready to stop making excuses and start building a foundation of purpose, that's sovereignty and generational impact. Before we get into today's blueprints, like always, I'd like to do a quick recap of where we were last week. In episode 57, we talked about the invisible jersey and the immense weight of the number 57. My brother Rob's number, my number, my nephew's number, and my son Ben's number. We talked about how you are always wearing a jersey. And we did a legacy audit, ensuring that the standards that you are setting in your own household honor the people who paved the way for you. If you missed that one, go back and listen to it. It's a raw, powerful look at what it means to pass the baton forward in real time. Also, a quick reminder, that complete manual for the entire process is available for you right now. You can pick it up at Amazon or on Kindle, Audible. Legacy Build Your Kingdom is in paperback, but it's also in Audible, so you can listen to it on the way to work, maybe putting in those miles while you're walking on the treadmill. Go and get it. You can also head over to www.legacycoaching-buildyourkingdom.com. You can grab a copy of my book. You can check out the life coaching programs and start building your foundation today. All right, let's get into episode 58. Today, we were talking about the very first and arguably the most vital pillar of your entire framework: spiritual uplift and purpose. I had a profound experience this weekend, and I wanted to share it with you. I was sitting in the service at Parkview Church, and the sermon hit me like a ton of bricks. It perfectly connected the dots between everything we talk about in the legacy framework and the reality of how God operates in our lives. The message was clear. God guides us through the process. He guides the journey. We are so obsessed with that end game, what the final destination is, that we completely miss that the true reward is the path itself. We miss that living a life of purpose, doing the next right thing, is what actually leads to peace and happiness. God loves you, the flaws, the sins, and all. And He will aggressively protect you, but only if you actually open the door and let Him in. Listening to that message at Parkview from Pastor Jody, an image popped right into my head. It's an analogy I want to break down for you today that I've used before and I've talked about before, but it perfectly describes how we narrate this life, how we interact with the architect of the universe, God Himself, and how we utilize our free will. I also want this episode to be available for my own children to see how I view life, how I interpret how God is involved in our life, but it is our own decisions that determine our fate. I want you to picture the game of Plinko. You've all seen it. You have this massive vertical board, this pegboard, and you drop this circular chip at the top of the board, and gravity pulls it down all the way, but it doesn't just drop in a straight line. The board is covered in hundreds of pins or pegs or whatever you want to call them, maybe dividers. And every time that chip hits a pin, it bounces. It bounces left, it bounces right, left again. It zigzags its way down until it finally lands into a slot at the very bottom. Imagine that Plinko board is your life. You start at the top. At the bottom of the board, there are these slots. Right? On the far left, those slots are negative. Negative money, you end with negative money, or that negative could represent a life that ends in a profound regret, sadness, broken relationships, unfulfilled potential. On the far right, the slots are highly positive, positive money, representing a life of immense peace, generational wealth, spiritual fulfillment, and deep happiness. When you start your life, maybe you aren't dropped perfectly in the center. Maybe you're on the left. Maybe that left side, or hovering over that negative side. Maybe you weren't dealt with the best hand. Maybe you were dealt a tough hand, born into a difficult environment, or handed a broken foundation. But gravity takes over, and that chip starts to fall, and it starts hitting those pins. Those pins are the challenges that and the tragedies and the opportunities and the friction points that God allows to be placed in front of you. Here is the most important part. Think about this analogy one more time. Every single time your chip hits a pin, you have a choice. That is God giving you free will. The chip doesn't just randomly fall. You have the capability in that microsecond of impact to lean left, negative, or right, positive. You get to make the decision. A negative reaction, a selfish choice, or a moment of surrendered discipline pushes that chip to the left. A positive reaction, a moment of grace, a disciplined response, pushes that chip to the right. But sometimes that chip hits a particular brutal cluster of pins, and that board gets tight, and that chip gets stuck. And in my book, Legacy Build Your Kingdom, I describe that stuck phase as LOST. Lost. Lazy. You stop putting in the work. Out of control. You let your emotions and external circumstances dictate your reactions. Stagnant. You stop growing, reading, praying, or even moving your body. Tortured. You are trapped in your own mental anxiety and regret. When your chip is stuck on the board and you are LOST, lost, what is our natural human reaction? We look at the top of the board and we scream at that architect, God, why? Why God? Why am I stuck? Give me the answers. Give me clarity. Tell me exactly what job to take, what relationship to stay in, what move to make. Tell me. We want that burning bush, right? We want God to open up and talk to us. We want God to reach his hand down, flick that chip, and magically drop it on the $1 million slot side at the bottom on the right. But here's the hard truth that Parkview Church reminded me of this weekend. If you are stuck, if you are screaming for direct clarity, you are misunderstanding the nature of God, of this architect. God is not a vending machine for easy answers. He is not here to just give you the cheat codes to a game. He is here to help you understand the process. He is here to build your character as a person, as a human being. God won't give you clarity if that clarity bypasses your growth. He is standing right beside the Plinko board, watching the chip, offering you grace and strength to navigate the pins. But you have to choose to let him in. When you find yourself questioning, am I in the right position? Is this the right relationship? Why is this tragedy happening to me? I want you to stop asking, why God? And start asking a different question. Where did I allow God to enter my life right now? Pastor Jody talks about this as a profound statement in her life, and it was a profound statement when I heard it. Where did I allow God to enter in my life right now? Did I actually trust him? When I look at this decision that I'm about to make, when I hit that pin, when I hit that peg, when my chip is resting on that pin, does it feel like a choice God would approve of? I know this immediately because I actually lived it. I have hit pins on my board that nearly broke the chip into half. As many of you know, one of the most defining, earth-shattering pins on my board was the death of my brother Rob. When Rob died, my chip hit a massive divider. The momentum of grief could have so easily sent me bouncing violently to the left, to the negative, into bitterness, into anger, into a cynical, hardened life where I shut down entirely. This is a natural gravity of profound loss. Many of you that have lost people, many of you that went through this, have bounced the wrong way. I started to bounce that wrong way with some anger towards God right away. But in that darkness, in that moment where my chip was entirely stuck and I was completely lost, a silver lining emerged. The absolute devastation of losing my brother Rob forced me to realize that my own hands weren't big enough to fix my life. Even at a young age of 6th, 7th grade, it forced me to look at the architect, look at God. It allowed my chip to lean towards God, who is always the right, who is always the positive. That tragedy was the catalyst that truly implemented God into my life in a real, actionable way. It forced me to let him in, to stop trying to control the gravity of the board and to allow him to guide my life. It built the spiritual uplift and purpose pillar of my kingdom. I talk about spiritual uplift and pillar all the time in my book and in my life coaching business because it is the most profound part of your life. Why are you here? You get to determine that. It's your decision. God gave me the opportunity to make a choice at that divider. He didn't make the pain disappear. It was there. It's still there. He didn't give me a perfectly clear map on how the next 10 years of my life would look. But he gave me the opportunity to lean to the right, to trust him. And that is where miracles happen. Miracles don't usually happen by God teleporting you to the finish line. Miracles happen when you are completely stuck, absolutely exhausted, but you choose to take one more step into the right direction. So how do we apply this practically in our lives? We are architects. We don't just talk about theology. We execute it. If your chip is currently stuck, if you are feeling lost, here is your actionable steps for this week to invite God back into your life. Actionable step number 1, the invitation at the pin. Plinko. Chip hits the pin. I'm going to go to the left. I'm going to go right. Which one are you choosing? Here it is. Every time you face a tough decision this week, a conflict at work, a financial stressor, a frustrating moment with your kids, visualize this Plinko board. Visualize that Plinko pin. Before you react, pause for 3 seconds. Ask yourself, does this next move feel like something God would approve of? Am I leaning to the left in the chaos, or am I leaning to the right into grace? Consciously invite him into that micro decision. Invite God into that decision. Here he is. God, what should I do? Invite him into that decision. That's actionable item number 1. Actionable item number 2, stop demanding clarity. Start seeking his fingerprints. Stop asking God for a 5-year plan. He probably won't give it to you because you aren't ready to carry that weight of it yet. Instead, look at his fingerprints today. Where did a conversation go slightly better than you expected it to be? Where did you find unexpected moments of peace? Trust his timing. Trust that he is beside the board watching you. Actionable item number 3. Do the next right thing. Pastor Jody talks about this, and I absolutely love it. Do the next right thing, one step at a time. When you are lost, L-O-S-T, the goal isn't to fix your entire life by Friday. The goal is to get unstuck with that chip sitting on that pin. What is the next right thing you can do today? Is it apologizing to your person? Is it finally going to the gym? Is it spending 10 minutes in prayer instead of scrolling on your phone and Instagram and all those things? Take the next step towards God. Open up to him. Allow him to shape your character in that friction. Listen to me. God will give you peace you seek if you just trust that he is holding that board, that he is standing beside you. Free will is a choice you make at every single divider, every single pin, every single peg, whatever you want to call it. The reward is the journey. The peace is in the path. Keep inviting him in. Ask him to be part of your life. Ask him in your decision making. Keep bouncing to the right. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in to episode 58. If this message resonates with you, share it with someone whose chip is stuck right now. If you have followed me, if you are listening, if you are part of this podcast, if you have followed my life coaching business, if you have followed my book, you know my purpose in life is to help build kingdoms of all of you, to help build kingdoms of people I don't know, to help build kingdoms of those that are struggling, that are stuck, that are lost. I'm asking you to do the same. I'm asking you to dig down deep and pass it on so somebody gets this message. Somebody gets something out of understanding. I feel stuck. I keep asking why, God. I still don't understand what my clarity is. I don't know how this works. Why would God do this? Why did I lose someone? For them to have peace, for them to have a life where they can understand God, we're asking you to pass this message so that they can let him in. And maybe this will resonate with them. So, remember, you can always get, that full framework, that full blueprint of your physical, your mental, your spiritual, your career, your relationship, all of that in my book, Legacy Build Your Kingdom. You can get it all right there on Amazon and Audible. You can visit my life coaching, www.legacycoaching-buildyourkingdom.com. Come see me one-on-one. I can help you one-on-one. Get to that connection that you can make with God. I can also help you connect to do that heavy lifting of building your own kingdom. All right, until next time, protect your focus. Be in control of your micro decisions at every pin by allowing God into your decision. And build your kingdom, but never forget who you're building it for. I'm Rudy Knapp. God bless everyone here. I hope my kids are listening to this, and I hope they truly, truly understand how it works so that they can invite God into their lives on a daily basis and love him the way that I do. God bless. Till next time.
Ooh, yeah. Time to build your foundation. Leave your mark on this creation. Legacy, build your kingdom.